Welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. Before the break, Mr. Tom Roeser was talking about regulation and a parking lot. And now, Tom, let's back up a little bit. You had to put a parking lot in and a retention pond?
No, I needed to put a parking lot in, but the area, given that the building was already existing, wasn't large enough to put the required number of spaces to the current Carpentersville code. So I received a variance.
Okay.
I, however, had no available room to put a retention pond that was required because of stormwater management. But remember, I'm right on a river, so it is not like I'm going into a field. All of my drains are going to go right to the river right away.
Right to the river.
So because I couldn't put a retention pond in, I could apply for fee in lieu of storage. So that what that means is they're going to take money from me, and they took $380,000 for a 240-person parking lot. $380,000 was the regulation so that they could use that to make a retention pond somewhere else in the floodway. Do you think they're ever going to build that retention pond?
No.
I don't think so either. But that is an example of just one regulation. And when people talk about regulations, everybody's got their pet, I love this regulation. We want things to be safe. We want the ecology to be sound. But the regulations go on, and a small business guy, even if he makes no money, he still has all the cost of regulation, and it is strangling business.
Well, look at Obama's got 26 czars. And since those 26 czars have been operating, that's exactly what they've done. They've really attacked the private sector with over 5,000 regulations in less than 4 years.
There's a case of a small business man, a guy that's got a little motorized hot dog stand that he started running out of our parking lot. Well, there's a bike path goes by, a lot of good customers. We like this fella, and this product is good. But the village told him he couldn't operate there because he didn't meet the building code or the operating code for a business, and that if he had this hot dog stand, it looked like an old Model T. It was kind of cute thing he had, and but he had to have a sink, or he couldn't operate his restaurant.
And refrigeration.
And a refrigerator, yeah. So how the heck was he going to do that? Particularly the sink. Where does he get the water and the drain? So they put this guy out of business but he asked us. He's complaining to us. So we got him out of it by assigning a sink within our building to the use of this man with his restaurant. And so we got around the regulation by giving him a sink. Kind of an unusual settlement, but what an unreasonable regulation you had. And it's just kind of typical of all of the crap you run into in these regulations. I've come to look at these people that administer all these building laws and other regulations. I've come to look at them as enemies. I'm the businessman trying to run a business, and I'm paying the salaries of these people that are making my life miserable practically every day.
You're paying for your own torturers.
With ramming their stinking regulations up my nose. And, and here I am in buildings. I couldn't help saying to them one day, we've gotten a lot of credit for these buildings here that are 140 years old. They're so beautiful that we fixed them up. Everybody loves what we've done here. It's occurred to me that those buildings went up by some guy that didn't have all your blasted Boca code around, and they stood the winds and rains and outrages, floods and everything else of 140 years, and they're still standing here for us to make them look beautiful again. But they were great buildings built without the Boca code, and these people that are regulating us so much, I look at them like I'm paying salaries for people to torture me, and I don't like that.
You know, in Obamacare, there is a law that says they're going to tax Cadillac health insurance plans. Mm-hmm. What they're saying is if you can afford to have a fancier plan, we're really going to tax you because we do not want someone with money to have advantage. There's a new regulation coming out. People don't know about this one, but it has to do with your thermostat. And the regulation is you should not be able to use electricity just because you can afford it. So the new thermostats are going to be that you cannot set your air conditioning to be cooler than 75 degrees in the winter, or excuse me, in the summer, and you can't have your house heated at warmer than 68 degrees, and they have now regulated this.
Beautiful.
Okay, now you're appalled. That's not true. But think about the extension of where they're going, and that regulation, started with a 1.5 gallon flush toilet, and the smart grid, and that is the extension of the regulations. And, remember, they will come for you next.
So you're telling me we don't have to go stock up on thermostats then? So what you
We
said
might
is-
stock up on light bulbs because those are going to be gone.
No, I heard that they, because I was doing that. I heard that they reversed that.
We'll
with
see.
those, well, then good, I'll keep
Well, they
stocking
could just
up.
as easily put it back.
Well,
If I could make a pitch, as I think we ought to talk a little bit about the teachers union, but I'd like to make a little pitch about Homes by OTTO because I think it can be terrific for Carpentersville and for us too. These homes were built in the 50s for returning soldiers. And I think that we have rebirthed that neighborhood and others are now helping to do the same. Homesbyotto.com. Please buy a home. But veterans, in the spirit of rebirthing this town, OTTO will offer a $10,000 discount to any honorably discharged veteran who buys a home by OTTO in Carpentersville.
Wow.
wow, that's outstanding.
Hey, those soldiers deserve a break.
And you were a soldier.
And what great
Yeah.
citizens to add to the current group.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We're going to talk more about Homes by OTTO and more about
We're gonna talk
rebuilding a
about
community
the
when we come back
teachers'
after
union
the
here.
break.